Hi, I'm Chuck Bonner, and this is part 1.5 of the 2.5-part series of how to make a pumpkin pie pretty much from scratch. This part 1.5 isn't about the pumpkin pie so much, it's about what do we do with these seeds. The easiest thing to do with them is throw them out in the backyard and let the birds eat them. But they're actually too good for that. Birds don't deserve it. So we're going to make these into something that we can eat. You can probably eat them the way they are right now. Wouldn't be much fun. They got a little bit of pumpkin boogers still mixed in them. We're going to take that out. If you have small children in your house, this is a fun thing to get the kids involved in. It's work, but the kids love it because they get to get their hands all gushy and they don't get in trouble for it. Mom doesn't like it too much, but hey, Granddad said we could. So that's how I get the kids involved in this activity. Right now there's no kids around this weekend. I don't know where they all are. But anyway, I'm doing this myself. Kids love it. Now if you are mom, suck it up. The kids are going to get their hands gushy. I don't have to bathe them. I don't care. So all we need to do is get the pumpkin boogers out of the pumpkin seeds. I usually push them all to one side and make a clean side and a gushy side. Separate any seeds that are stuck together. Like I say, all the little pumpkin boogers, just throw them into the trash can over there. If you get a bunch of pumpkins that are still stuck the way they grow, just squeeze them a little bit and you end up with the boogers that you can throw away. And that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing for the next, 10 minutes or so. A lot of boogers in here. Okay, I got my pumpkin seeds pretty well cleaned. There's still a little bit of pumpkin boogers in there, but you reach a point where you got so much on your hands you really can't get any more off the seeds. You're putting more on. As you're picking through the seeds, if you find any that you're cut with the knife, throw them away. If you find any undeveloped seeds, they're real thin, it's like a husk with no seed inside, just throw them away, things like that. And then you end up with a little pile of seeds. Spread them out, roughly one high, and again, these are so sticky, it's hard to spread them evenly because they're sticking to your hands. Not your hands, my hands. And try to spread them out more or less evenly. The whole idea here, we don't even need to cook the seeds, we just want to dry them. So we're going to dry them in the oven on warm, about 125 if your oven has a setting that low, mine doesn't. And how long? Well, like I mentioned in part 1 of this video series, I don't really believe in exactitude when it comes to cookery. So I'm going to cook them for, that's probably too long, maybe about that long, about an hour. One more thing I want to show you before we go. You don't need to watch me put these in the oven for an hour, do you? But I do want to show you, once you're done cooking them, how do you eat them? Hang on a second. I got this. Love that gnome. Okay, here's what you want to do. You want to come in a little closer. Okay, what you want to do. Notice the pumpkin seed has two ends, one kind of rounded and one kind of pointy. Break off the pointy end. Kind of need fingernails for this. You might be able to use some other tool. Now you want to squeeze it laterally like this, and sometimes you get lucky and the whole side pops off. But if it doesn't, then you just kind of crack right around the edge to get most of one edge of the seed uncovered, and then peel like that, and now you can hold the seed in one hand and the hull in the other and pull the seed right out. Pumpkin seeds, they don't have very strong flavor, kind of roughly like a very mild nut. The pumpkin seed like this would probably qualify as junk food, probably pretty high in fat and calories, but the effort it takes to crack them, nobody's getting fat eating pumpkin seeds. Let your kids eat all the pumpkin seeds they want. Pretty high in fiber too. Now, hoping to get one that pops out the easy way. Try one more. I think that might have got it. No, it didn't. I'll bet there's some kind of tool for this, but I don't know what it is. Trying to find a thick one. On the idea that a thick one might work better. Okay, so I'm breaking off the pointy end, pinching it laterally till it cracks. You see how the shell is sticking away from the side there? I can stick my fingernail under there, and now I got it largely exposed. I can easily break one side off and pull the thing right out. Some pumpkins get more seeds to come out this way than others. This particular pumpkin, maybe about 1 out of 5 comes out like that. Some of them, they almost all do. Come to think of it, it might not have to do with the pumpkin. It might have to do with the way I'm cooking them. Cooked are kind of like a box of chocolates. Okay, that concludes part 1.5. We'll get on to part 2, the actual pumpkin pies, next week, I think.